Hello everyone, I'm Sakafousi, your free FPL data analyst. In this video we'll look at the most important stats of all players from the first 2 game weeks, and you'll understand why there's no need to panic yet. First, let's take a look at my own team, which I manage using the data from my model. The first 2 game weeks went well, and we are currently ranked 173k in the world. I'm quite happy with the team, though of course I'd like to make some moves. However, I believe the right strategy at the start of the season is to be patient and gather more data. Now let's go through the stats of players in each position, and you'll see why it's far too early for safe conclusions. Let's start with the goalkeepers, who mainly score points from clean sheets and saves. On the x-axis we have saves per 90 minutes from the first 2 game weeks. So the keepers with the most saves are those on the far right of the chart, Vicario and Raya. On the y-axis we have expected goals conceded, so the lower a goalkeeper is, the fewer chances they've allowed. At the very bottom, we see Pope. This chart makes it clear why it's too early to draw conclusions. Raya cannot possibly continue the season making this many saves, since Arsenal are a very strong defensive team that simply don't allow many shots. And Pope is also unlikely to sustain this level, because conceding only 0.45 xg per game is not realistically sustainable. Based on these numbers, let's look at how many points goalkeepers are expected to score in the next table. According to the stats so far, the best goalkeeper is Newcastle's Pope, priced at 5. He averages 0.45 expected goals conceded, 2 saves, which translates into 5.11 expected points per game. But, as we said, it's too early for conclusions, so I wouldn't make any goalkeeper transfers right now. Now let's check the defenders. Defenders get points mainly from goals, assists, clean sheets, and defensive contributions. On the x-axis we have attacking threat. On the far right are Timber and Calafiori, with over 0.8 expected goal involvement per 90 minutes. Obviously, this is not sustainable long-term. Only players like Haaland and Salah could realistically have such numbers. On the y-axis we see the chances conceded by defenders' teams. Trippier and Schär are lowest on the chart, as Newcastle have conceded the fewest chances so far. Defenders marked with a green dot are those with over 9 defensive contributions per 90 in the first 2 matches. From these stats we see that Timber has the highest expected points, with 10.73 x points per game. Clearly, the data from just 2 matches is not enough to properly evaluate defenders. I'll only comment on Aït-Nouri, who is a popular and expensive pick. His attacking numbers are very poor, with 0.03 xg and 0.02 xa. This looks like a tactical decision from Pep Guardiola, and I don't think it will change easily. Given his high price, he's a defender I would avoid. In general, my recommendation is to avoid defensive transfers for now. Save your transfers or invest them in attack, where the ceiling is much higher. Now let's look at the midfielders' performance from the first 2 matches. Midfielders mainly earn points from goals, assists, and defensive contributions. On the x-axis we have expected goals. On the far right are Marmoush, Dango, and Semenyo, as they were the most threatening players in the first 2 matches. On the y-axis we have expected assists, with Estevao at the very top. In his few minutes played, he created some big chances for his teammates. Midfielders with a green dot are more likely to hit the defensive contribution bonus. Based on this, let's check their expected points. At the top we find Dango Ouattara, with 9.24 expected points. Of course, he won't maintain such high numbers, but his stats were strong last season too. At Bournemouth, his spot wasn't fully secure, but now at Brentford he looks nailed. His stats are excellent, his price as well. If you have an injury in your team, for example Saka, I would take Dango as a replacement and use the extra funds elsewhere. Salah's numbers have been very disappointing so far. He's very low in the table and it's hard to justify his 14.5 price tag. Popular pick Wirtz is also a concern for owners, as he plays deep on the pitch, his role is mainly creative, and he isn't close to goals or assists. In the Cunha vs Mbeumo debate, Cunha just about wins. Personally, I currently own both. But after the Burnley game I'll probably sell one, as United don't seem to be improving this season as many expected. Finally, let's check the forwards from the first 2 matches. Forwards mainly score points through goals and assists. On the x-axis we have expected goals, with Haaland far ahead of everyone else. In my team, I currently own Salah, but if this trend continues, I'll likely make the switch from Salah to Haaland. Welbeck also posted strong numbers, but his starting spot at Brighton isn't fully secure. Next, Gyökeres and Ekitike stand out. Both are starters at Liverpool and Arsenal, and both are great picks. Between them, I'd prefer Ekitike. Gyökeres' stats are inflated by his penalty goal, but he won't be getting penalties every week. Speaking of penalties, it's worth noting something important. Gyökeres, Welbeck, Fernandes, Thiago, O'Reilly, and Mecca have each taken one penalty in the first 2 matches. Their numbers are therefore influenced by this, and we must take it into account. Now let's see how many points forwards would score if they maintain these stats going forward. Of course, Haaland is miles ahead at the top. I believe Ekatike should be in every team right now. Beyond that, I also like Gyökeres and João Pedro, as their numbers are solid so far. They've been good historically as well, they play in strong teams, and their minutes look secure at this stage. So after looking at the best players in each position, I could run the optimal team algorithm. But that would be pointless, since the data sample is too small and variance creates many outliers. So instead, I'll build my ideal team using my judgment, not the optimization algorithm. My picks are based on a combination of this season's early stats and longer-term data. Let me know if you like this team, and of course, leave a like on the video to support our work. The model and the videos take many hours every week, and the only reward we get is really the likes we see in our notifications. Thank you very much, good luck with your teams, and may you get many green arrows.